model of coronal heating via radiative saturation. Author, Paul Zafuto. 1. Abstract. The Sun's corona reaches temperatures exceeding 2 million K, far hotter than the 6,000 K photosphere beneath it. This paper introduces a new model to explain this discrepancy through radiative saturation, the accumulation of thermal energy by coronal atoms from the solar disk's radiation, constrained by the geometry of exposure. By combining observational data, quantitative modeling, and spatial geometry, we demonstrate that free-floating atoms in the corona, though thermally isolated, are radiatively saturated by the entire solar disk. This model explains both the temperature inversion and the optical thinness of the corona in a consistent framework. 2. Introduction. The unexplained temperature rise from the photosphere, CHA 6,000 K, to the solar corona, 1 to 2 million K, has puzzled astrophysicists for over a century. Existing theories include wave heating, magnetic reconnection, and nanoflares, but all face inconsistencies with either spatial energy distribution or observational geometry. This work introduces a novel model based on spatial exposure to radiative energy. We show that an atom's position relative to the solar surface determines its thermal energy intake. The geometric field of view hypothesis posits that as atoms rise above the solar surface, the visible solid angle of the Sun increases up to a maximum, leading to a natural peak in absorbed energy and temperature. 3. Geometric field of view hypothesis. As an atom rises from the photosphere, at ground level, the atom is surrounded by dense material, limiting exposure to only nearby radiant atoms. At 0.5 R above the surface, the Sun subtends 50% of the visible sky. At this altitude, radiant flux from billions of surface atoms converges onto the thermally isolated atom. Above this, the visible solar disk begins to shrink, allowing the atom to re-radiate more freely to open space. This creates a natural temperature peak at the altitude where the solar disk subtends the maximum solid angle while re-radiation remains restricted. 4. Quantitative modeling. 4.1 Atomic number densities. Photosphere. 10.0 1.0 atoms per micrograms. Corona. Low 1.0 10 times 4 atoms per micrograms. Corona high 1.0 10 atoms. 4.2 mean free path, photosphere, 0.00225 meters. Corona low, 225,079 meters. Corona high, 2,250.8 meters. 4.3 neighbor count within 1 nanometer thermal radius, photosphere, I 4.19910 for corona low. Towels for 4.19 to 10 stamens. Corona high, 4.19 10. These calculations confirm that photospheric atoms constantly share energy and maintain equilibrium, while coronal atoms remain isolated, allowing heat to accumulate from sustained radiative exposure. 4.4 Radiative power transfer estimate. Using the Stefan-Boltzmann law, a 6,000 K atom radiates Plotchen 6.49 times 10 mins per use. Exposure to billions of such atoms can raise the temperature of a free-floating atom significantly. 5. Comparison to other models. Model explains temp inversion, matches altitude peak, includes radiative geometry, requires magnetic events. Free-floating atoms, yes. Wave heating, partial, no, yes. Magnetic reconnection, partial, no, yes. Nanoflare heating, incomplete, no, no, yes. Radiative saturation, this work, yes. Number 6, observational predictions. Temperature should peak between 1.2 to 1.5 R from the Sun's center. Corona should grow cooler at greater distances as the solar disk shrinks in angular size. Coronal atoms are dim but hot. Brightness does not directly correlate with temperature. Sunspot-induced shading may cause measurable cooling in nearby coronal plasma. 7. Brightness versus temperature clarification. Brightness is a function of emitted intensity and atomic density. Temperature, however, is intrinsic to atomic kinetic and radiative energy. In dense environments, energy is shared, yielding high brightness but moderate temperatures. In sparse environments, atoms can reach extreme temperatures due to lack of losses, even if they remain visually dim. This geometric radiative model explains both the temperature magnitude and the altitude profile of the solar corona. It adheres to thermodynamic principles, matches spacecraft observations, and offers new testable predictions. If validated by future solar limb scans and imaging, it could resolve the long-standing mystery of the corona's anomalous heat. 9 references. 1.